only thing really different is that the car is a little faster, has an extra motor, the brakes a little bit bigger, and then you have some carbon fiber around the car. So that's the one thing about this car. You get red brake calipers as well as Uber turbine wheels, right? And your tires are on Pirelli P0 tires. So you have a more kind of sports look for the car. The turbine wheels are a lot bigger. You're supposed to have a harder suspension because it's supposed to be a sports car. And I thought they looked great. I thought they were the best looking wheels on the Tesla, to be quite frank. Most people didn't like it. They look like a giant fan. I like that look. So that's one thing about the car you're gonna get, is that when you have Uber turbine wheels, it's more like a bumpy suspension, very fast when it comes to the red brake when it comes to the car itself. The brake calipers are red, and you do drive a lot faster because you're 0 to 60 3.1 seconds compared to if you got a long range at 4 seconds 0 to 60, right? So a little bit slower. Also, you don't have as fast of a kind of you have a much faster kind of get off within the car, right? So that's a little difference between the Model 3 and Performance 2021, 2018, right? The crazy thing about those performances that I've been seeing, if you go for the 2021 version, I got it for like, I think around $65,490 was like what the price was back in the day, which is crazy. Now it's only, or sorry, $56,490. Now you can get a used 2021 for about 25 grand, 22 grand. It's a really great car, right? But that's a performance version of it too. So these cars right now, this car is about $56,000. Just know in 3 years Tesla's gonna make a new one. It's gonna drop a lot more, and you will kind of lose a majority of your money. So if you do go with these cars, maybe it's best to just lease them so you keep trading it in. Or if you do get them, maybe you buy used 3 years later. That way you get this car variant. Or if you do get it, maybe you buy you just buy it forever. It's like your forever car, so that way you're not losing money. Unless you have the money to spend, then by all means go for it. That's the one thing with these performance cars, is that they are super bumpy on the suspension. They are very cool to look at on the outside because they look more aggressive than the other Model 3s. But these are probably my favorite kind of versions of the Model 3 because of how nice of a look it is, right? You don't get it for the suspension, you don't get it for the long range, you get it for the speed, right? If you love to drive kind of quick up the line, 0 to 60 at 3.1 seconds is a lot, very quick. It's almost like Bugatti speed, which is freaking crazy to get for a normal car that anyone can just buy. But that's the electric motor within the car. Also, the one thing that's cool about these Teslas is that the technology is insane. Like, you get so many great features with the technology, especially with the new Model 3s that have come out, because you have the latest hardware, and their performance on the self-driving software is night and day difference. Like, you can honestly tell the difference between this performance with the software itself. So I kid you not, guys, like, I'm a huge fan of this Model 3 performance and the software you get from it. So you guys won't be disappointed with the new hardware 4, right? And I've come from every renditions from it. I've had the full self-driving software on version hardware 3 with my Model Y, 3.5 with my Model S, and now version 4 with the Tesla Model 3 Performance 2024, right? I can tell the huge difference. And honestly, it's a lot more affordable than $99 for full self-driving is a good deal, especially, and you get this cool performance car, right? You can't really lose. It's like a win-win with this car, which I really like, enjoy, and I'm very kind of blessed and thankful for. You experience it. Would go with the performance if I want this just to be a fun car that I drive extremely fast to and from work, have a shorter commute. If I want a car for, say, commuting very far or for long road trips, definitely with the Model 3 rear-wheel drive long range, because of the smooth suspension, because of the quiet cabin, and that 360 or so miles of range. People are saying, actually, when they drive that car, usually you get 70% of that, so around like 300 miles of range. But people are getting more. Some people are almost getting 400 miles of range on that Model 3 rear-wheel drive. For those people who are commuting pretty far, that's really good. I'm actually very impressed by that, because of the whole how crazy it is with Teslas. Like, even my Model S 2021, 2022 long range, it gets only about 70% of the expected range. But of a 400, 380 mile range, that's more than enough, because I need to take breaks whenever I go on long road trips. Also, it's very spacious. But this car, it does feel like a performance car. It does feel super grippy when you're going quick, 0 to 60. That 60 to 100, you can definitely feel that increase in speed compared to previous models of the car. Like 0 to 60, higher model performance per hour, 2021, felt similar, felt the same, that 0 to 60. This one still feels pretty similar, pretty the same with the 0 to 60, about 3.1 seconds. But that 60 to 100, I definitely feel the increase in that. I definitely feel the change in the suspension in this car, where it's much smoother. My Model 3 performance was extremely bumpy because of the sports performance of the car, so the suspension was a little bit bumpier. Also, it was very prone to getting potholes. That's the one thing I didn't like about that car. A lot of potholes with that car because it's such a low profile to the car. This car, I'm pretty sure you'll probably get potholes too, which is the one unfortunate thing. And if you replace the tires on this car, the Pirelli P0 tires, you're looking at $450 or so per tire. So it's very expensive tires. That's the only thing that's unfortunate about this car, is that you do have to pay more for a nice sport rims or sport tires. So I would go with the cheaper tire if I was you, but to each their own. For me, I enjoyed this car because of the look on it. The hardware has improved for me, for sure, with the red dot whenever you're trying to switch lanes. The hardware for the Tesla full self-driving has improved a lot, as well as I really like the interior. The interior is super nice within the car. Also, it feels a lot faster within this car, so it is a ton of fun to drive this car. Model 3 Performance is a good car. It's a really good car. It's a good daily driver car if you want to drive to and from work. You want to drive quickly. It's a lot of fun. Well, you gotta keep in mind that the car is a performance car, so you will have a bumpier suspension compared to long range rear wheel drive, right? Just keep that in mind. This is also because their tires are bigger. I believe it's 21 inches for this tire on the rims in the car and the tires. If you're to switch to a 19-inch, which you can switch to 19-inch with this car. You just have to pay for new rims and tires. It will be a lot smoother, probably $2,000 though, and you will still have that same performance. So keep that in mind. And that's one thing I've kind of realized with these cars. I have a long-range Model S with the Exhilarating wheels, 21 inches, I believe. And it was very, very bumpy, smooth, bumpy suspension and ride because of how big the rims were. Switched over to a more kind of smaller rims and smaller tires. It's been a lot smoother driving, which I truly enjoy about the car. So just kind of keep that in mind whenever you are picking a car. Like, do you want a smoother suspension? Do you want more range? So think about what is beneficial for you and your car. Smooth range or smooth suspension, it's longer range, go with the long range. You save $16,000, $14,000. You want the car to look cool, you want the performance feel, pay the extra $14,000 and go with the long range, or go with the Model 3 Performance, and you won't be disappointed. Look at the interior, it's so much nicer.